Hi everybody, Dr. Maggie Battiato here. So I just wanted to say hi and wish everyone very safe and healthy well-being. And I wanted to talk a little bit today about being triggered, emotionally triggered, because some of us are not busy as we were these days with the coronavirus thing happening. Sometimes emotional issues can come up that were prominent before. So, and I'm out in nature. It's beautiful backyard, which I suggest that we all do a little more of, being in nature in the yard or go for a walk around the block or something. Breathe in the beautiful air, meditate, just do whatever makes you feel good, get in touch with yourself, read, learn about more of what you like to do, self-identification is great. But during this time, sometimes we get triggered more. Some emotional childhood issues may come up. So I just wanted to address that quickly. So being emotionally triggered means that you're in a situation, perhaps even at the grocery store, and something happens, or you see someone and you start to feel an emotional reaction. You feel angry or sad or hurt. Okay, so that's what being triggered means. All right, something upsets you. Now the impulse right away is to blame the other person or the situation right away. Everybody does. I feel that too when I get triggered. Right away, you want to blame the other person or the situation or something else. But guess what? The truth is, those are your feelings. So it's about you. It has to do with you. It's your feelings. So another perspective, another way to look at being triggered is it's about you. So that means it's a blessing in disguise, that trigger. It's a blessing. That means it's time for you to work on that issue, whatever triggered you. So it's an opportunity to work through and process that trigger, whatever that was. And then you get down to the root cause of it, right? 99% of the time, it's something from childhood. 99% of the time. That when the original trigger happened, the original thing that got you upset, you weren't able to process it at that time because you were a kid, most likely. So it just gets shoved down. So then when you're an adult, you get re-triggered, and now you got to deal with it. What's the other point I was going to make about that? Hang on a second. I take notes so I don't forget things because, I'm old. So then when you're finished emotionally processing that trigger that you reacted to, it's gone. Magically gone, disappears, you never have to deal with it again. How about that for a benefit of working on your issues? Right? Now, it's advisable to work with, a qualified psychologist or therapist when you're feeling triggered, depending on the person, depending on who you are, and if you have any kind of pre-existing diagnosis, someone that's schizophrenic, if they get triggered, it's hard for them. But I'll give you an example. So when I was writing my dissertation, and my dissertation chair had to go over my chapters, right? So this lady kept redlining everything and saying, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, and sending it back to me to correct. And I'm looking at it and I'm saying, it's not wrong. I know it's not wrong. I did my research well. I know it's right. Which normally I would have been fine with, but there was something about this lady really triggered me. Got so frustrated with her, so angry at her. So I would, respond to her, and I'd respectfully say, I have to disagree. I think you're off the mark a little bit here. and she would say, no, I'm right, you're wrong. Like literally, tell me I'm wrong. That would piss me off even more. So I had I knew a couple Princeton University professors. That's where I'm from. So I had them look at my chapters, and they would say, Maggie, you're right. There's nothing wrong with these chapters. So I felt validated, but still, I'm like, what is going on with this lady? Again, there's my instinct to blame someone else. Ultimately, I realized this is me. This is my issue. This is my issue with this woman. So then I kind of was writing in my journal, and I figured out that my issue with this woman was that she reminded me of, God forgive me, my mother. My mother, when I was a child, and she's calmed down now. She's not like this anymore, but could never be right. I was never right. I was always wrong. She always had to have the last word in the conversation. And she made me feel stupid. That was my trigger. That's what made me frustrated with my professor, my dissertation chair. So you see how that works. Right away, I tried to blame her, but it was really my issue. They were my feelings. So I processed it. I worked it through. And then I could work with her, and I didn't have a problem anymore. Didn't matter, because it was gone, because I worked through it. So there's an example of the triggering. So I hope that was helpful. God bless you all. I wish you all health and happiness. Take care.